Hi, this is David Williams. In this video, I want to show you a simple feature of the VTS Expert Advisor Builder related to end elements. Now, an end element is the element that's used to terminate any drawing. And in a programming language kind of speak, it returns a value at the end of the function. Sometimes it returns an integer or a float or a double. It's like a decimal. And it could return true or false, or it could return a string as well. So different data types. Now, you may have noticed that in the toolbox area, there is no place to store end elements. That was a decision that we made to keep the toolbox from being too cluttered. An end element typically doesn't have a lot of design thought put into it. It just returns a value. So there's really no reason to save them. However, if you're creating a bunch of drawing functions and they all return the same kind of types, it can get a little tedious to keep drawing and defining the same kind of end elements. So we added a feature that while you're on a drawing, you could always drag from the new elements portions of the toolbox and put a new end element out there. But there's also another way where you could right-click with your mouse and you could select from the menu here for the ends. Now, this is the main drawing of an Expert Advisor, and that means that it returns an integer value. And so the choices you have when you go to the end element is you could just draw a regular end that's not defined in any way. It's an integer, or there are some other choices on there. The other choices are you could return 0, you can return 1, where you can return -1. And so these end elements are fully defined. It's defined as an integer, and it returns 0. You could see that there. This one is defined as an integer, and it returns 1. And this one is defined as an integer, and it returns -1. And so this just helps you make drawings quickly. You might find yourself using a lot of end elements, and this way you don't have to keep defining them in the same way. Now, the reason we saw those choices on the menu is because this drawing returns an integer. If we were to create another drawing and change its return type from integer to Boolean, I'll just say OK here. I'll open up this drawing. Now, when I go to add an end element on this drawing by right-clicking, I see different choices. Now, again, I could always get the regular end element that's not configured in any way, or I could select end true or end false. And again, these are defined correctly as Boolean type and a true value here, and a Boolean type and a false value here. So this is just a simple feature that'll help you speed up when you're doing the same things over and over again when you're creating drawings for your Expert Advisor. Thanks. Bye.